Welcome everyone to the first round of Spoils of Vaul July tournament. Today we have LostOne Chaos Space Marines fighting Legion Orks, and of course that is a very interesting close combat matchup. Especially with latest changes. Sadly for LostOne, second city still costs 120, but at the very least burner boys are now 40 cost, 5 models, so the chance that Orks will just spam them against everything are pretty slim. That being said, let's look at the spawns. LostOne here drops on production, has an ore outpost, so maybe his second city will go somewhere here. It's always nice to have an ore city. And he actually has a couple of ruins, so might pick up something useful from them. Gets first one. And it's sadly just powered gauntlet, not something you wanna. Meanwhile, Ork also drops on production. It's Grassland Rocks production for both players, by the way. Very fun. But other than that, also has an ore outpost for his second city. Doesn't get a second ruins. Actually, we're quite close as well. Still will take some time to cap them. Meanwhile, LostOne already took his second ruins. Very close. And that actually, oh, thanks to those poxwalkers, we are not extremely boosted on research, and he's actually starting with slave mines, kinda necessary. Yeah, those neutrals are being a bit annoying. Meanwhile, Ork of course opens up with a barrack. Yeah, kinda wondering what tech he got on tier 1. Apparently I'm not sure, definitely not a production building. And burner boys, well, unless they got moved back to tier 1, was tier 3 previously on the mod. Let's see. Alright, Modaka was just finished. We haven't seen it on the previous turn, so still not clear what did he take. Please let me know if you guys if anyone knows what that was. And meanwhile, Chaos is waiting for his second. I guess it will be once again around turn 12 or 13. Looks like 13. so far. But 12 is also possible. Second barrack for Orc. A lot of boys in the queue. Right, what is a commander camp? So it looks like a third tier 1 tech. So I'm still not sure what was he taking. Although, oh yeah, maybe the first one was pile of like Modaka, alright. That would make more sense. But yeah, that means for Orc we have Modaka in the commander camp. Does he have enough food? Doesn't have any food outposts yet. 3 energy outposts though, so we might see some weird boys. But yeah, I guess he got some food from ruins, which is why he has so many boys in the queue. Some annoying dogs here. And Chaos still have not settled his second. It is turned 13 already, so should be dropping city right now. Yeah, slaps it almost in the middle of the map. Well, I could say in the middle of the map. But at least it is on an ore field. And immediately drops a renderer. No berserkers yet. Have not kept that ruin for a while, thanks to those poxwalkers. There is actually a third ruin up here, which he might be able to clear once he gets some berserkers out. Meanwhile, Orc is going to barracks command the camp. Maybe Mech's Yard next. And again, doesn't really get any food income from the map, so it's a little bit scary. Well, he has like +2 from those 2 outposts, but that is not much. And you can see that, like, in terms of unit count, Chaos should be behind for a while because of double boosted production opening. No hero build. Just as I say that, he takes hero building. So we might see a lord here. But yeah, lord is definitely a good addition to your army against orcs. Can help deal with war boss, and also can be hard to kill with that annoying Ichor Blood ability. That is a bit annoying, getting body blocked by those cultists. But that is the risk you take by when you place city like this in the middle of the map on neutral spaces. Oh yeah, he doesn't know that there are an extra ruin here. He might get blocked by those cultists again, since he aggroed back. Meanwhile, Orc is indeed making Megbit's yard after commander camp, and you can see that it is becoming extremely tight on food. Saves some upkeep with the enslaver trick. And yeah, you can see the guy went straight onto the style. Very annoying for chaos here. And Legion goes as far as killing his own boys. You could say permanently reducing that upkeep here. But the reason he is doing that is pretty clear. I would say he might even wanna queue a burner boys or a couple of boys just to, I guess a burner boy should work, just to hold that food. Because once those guys are out, we will get his upkeep into negative. Will get his income into negative, and there is a real risk of being unable to queue a mech, which would be quite sad. Yeah, it looks like our Chaos Hero will be produced right on the front lines. Maybe we could go to Lord's quarters to get him out sooner. Who knows? Personally, I think we should go for a 40 cost Lord. Might be... yeah, I probably should check Power Claw as well. In 7th edition. Yeah, and you can see he like has to skip production. Oh, by the way, I guess he like unqueued one boys. I assume to queue boss mechs. So he wants two of them. But yeah, that leaves his piles of Daka on sleep for some turns. And that is like the downside of this opening. If you do not get any food outposts, you kinda have to get that quick hurts earlier. Or maybe even drop a second barrack entirely. Alright, indeed Power Claw has the same rule as Thunder Hammer. So if we will ever oh, whatever how will I go? What's the like word order here? But yeah, if we ever want to nerf Chaos Lord and War Boss damage, the most reasonable solution is to reduce their attacks, like their melee attacks by 1, because their current stats seem to be a bit too boosted. And you can definitely feel it in their attack. Should be like 1/3 less damage from Power Claw. And same for Thunder Hammer. Sadly it will also like nerf attack squeak, but for attack squeak we can just slap an extra attack or something. Maybe instead just add a trait to Power Claw and Thunder Hammer that reduces their attacks by flat 1. Yeah, that should make them much more reasonable, like both of them. And of course, this should allow reducing Chaos Lord cost to 40 as well. But yeah, as expected, turn 25 will have like 3 Chaos units against 10 Orc units. But as you can see, without heavy armor, it's not like you can just walk in and kill something. You're definitely not sieging any cities. And as you can see, like Orc is stuck without food for some time. Indeed, queues a couple of mechs with his 30 food. And now that early production is just basically wasted. which again means that he could have just made a single pile of Daka. But again, you can't know for sure that you will get like 0 food outposts. Trying to grab that enslaver. Should be able to pick him off next turn with Vorbos and the boys squad. Oh wait, he won't be able to move Vorbos here next turn. That is kinda busted. Yeah, maybe and those Poxwalkers are taking an annoying position as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. It kinda looks like we might resort to killing our boys again, which is not something you wanna do. But yeah, a bit rough for Legion here, basically losing a second boy to enslavers. No grenades to deal with this wasp. But on the other hand, it's like 7 more turns to produce the Lord. Right, welcome to the new meta, going for Meadow of Sorrow as a 6th building in your main on Chaos. He does have Wreck of Leaf captured, so it is like 7.2 loyalty, but also he's not that deep into loyalty minus for it to be very useful, but we will see. Might be getting captive pens next. And funnily enough, we're only building Gin Labs. Vehicle building is not even tagged, which is kinda hilarious against Orks, as since both Hellbrutes and Molder Fiends are actually pretty hard to kill. They don't take as much damage from tank booster bombs, so you kinda have to just shoot them with normal attacks. But finally gets heavy armor. It's, I believe, a tier 3 tag. And it looks like LostOne picked up Weapon Slayer because Borbos didn't get the experience. But yeah. With this many units for Chaos, have to respect Orc army. But yeah, I'm not quite sure we can actually afford to attack Chaos so recklessly here. I guess he can keep killing like a unit per turn on this tile. And again, that's on on the LostOne for settling here. Could have settled in the back, like on his spawn, on a very sweet volcanic ore field. Doesn't get bloated, but gets crystalline body. Might become unkillable for Orks with that. .6. Alright, gives up a Berserker though, so at the very least we'll be able to kill the Berserker. Maybe not even a Berserker, because they can't move here. Alright, that is actually hella annoying. You might even wish you had some range 2 units here as Orc. Might even tank boosters, like, should still work. But yeah, of course that is still a lot of units from the early game. Keep in mind he's not producing any new units for a while. So Orks are just naturally that strong this early. That is to be expected, having 2 boosted production buildings early against delayed single production. It is going to take chaos some time to catch up on army value and army size, and of course it is made so much harder by the fact that he kind of forces himself to fight here. Doesn't look like we will be able to get the Lord out. Looks like we will be trying to heal up those berserkers. Let's hope it procs. Yeah, it makes sense he fights for that tile so hard, doesn't proc any boons, because he's trying to build a barrack on that tile. Again, just shows you that you should respect the opponent and just place your city where it belongs, in the corner. But luckily enough, Ork doesn't take the tile yet. Although I'm pretty sure he will take it next turn and we will still get cacked from the Genie Lab, or whatever it is called. Here we can see Ork finally getting some food after that quick hurts and blocking a second city. We'll resume production now. And let's see if LostOne will be able to like survive this. Obviously would have definitely lost if Ork had some food outposts on the map and just kept producing units from those two early barracks. Yeah, and diving his boss on this tile would be devastating. Instead he gets some damage on berserkers. Still works. It's like you still can't remove unit from the tile with just the city. But again, the hope for chaos here is that this just won't be enough to ultimately finish the city. Grab the buff. A buff here, kill there, but again, I don't think we're surviving. But war was hitting our city. On the other hand, maybe we will invest into Cult of Chaos and just rebuild our second later. But yeah, we're kinda stuck without production. Yeah, not much of Orc army is left, but what is left is just enough to stop Chaos Lord from getting out and to finish off that city. Yeah, hides his war boss on the best tile. And by the way, just look at how unfortunate that city placement is. And he captured the tile in front, what helps Orc, but it also has Arcoid Fungus to regenerate him. That is like so unlucky. Again, could have been there in a safe position. We can actually finish the city with boys. That means Warboss will be able to nuke a squad. And it doesn't look like Chaos has a chance here. we'll be dying with a lot of resources in the bank. Which again reminds us that maybe there is a way to play Chaos differently. Alright, looks like he will be trying to rebuild his second. Sadly, we didn't get Captive Pens. Instead we have Meadow of Sorrow, which is pretty much useless, boosting our loyalty. Like already positive loyalty into positive. Meanwhile, Orc is queuing a second war boss. And now that Chaos Lord production was denied, not gonna lie, looks like this might be it, guys. Well, Mark of Horn Havocs are cute, but we might be a bit too far behind. Let's see, Ork should be looking for a third city, I believe. Might even place it quite aggressively, since he pretty much owns the map at the moment. So annoying to leave that artifact to one cultist, but the terrain is quite funky. Yeah, I don't think we have an answer to a second war boss. And this might take a while to take to rubric Marines. Бешуты со скорчей. Звучит люто. Right. Sorry for the Russian sleeping in. Was saying that combi shooter with Scorcher sounds tough. Yeah, the funny thing is that upkeep wise the armies are actually quite similar, but of course like numbers and war boss advantage doing their thing. Drops his third in Lost Phase. He can actually literally see it now. And maybe this will finally be a cue for LostOne to tap out But of course, Legion is still trying to keep LostOne in the game by donating yet another boys to enslavers. I think we all have been there. Like, you just walk your boys forward. And he ends up getting captured. Yeah, that is a bit unfortunate. Can immediately get his Havoc traded for boys and cans. And that is free upkeep gun. So very hard to use Havocs effectively. Most certainly cannot leave them in the front row. But you also kinda don't want to leave Berserkers in the front row as well, so we basically lack frontline fighters for Chaos at the moment. And that forces him to rely on Havocs and Berserkers doing the dirty work of standing in front. I think he can kill Killicans here. Yeah, I think those two units should die. And that's like the best we can do at the moment. Didn't get crystalline body on those berserkers. Which is nice. But sadly, like all things considered, that wasn't a good trade. 60 cost for 60 cost, a bit less production, but not the kind of trade that will lead us to victory, because Orc, as you can see, already has like 4 or 5 production buildings, and he also has the tech that increases production. So meanwhile Chaos only has like 3. This is basically a settler building for now. But yeah, just not a great situation for Chaos. That being said, yeah, sadly can't really siege it. Also sadly we are only just making captive pens. Again, could have built them instead of Meadow of Sorrow, but of course could not have known that his city will get demolished. But yeah, sadly we'll be stuck in this position, I guess, for another 50 turns. But of course, would absolutely love to believe otherwise. Again, unless Orks capture more artifacts, if I can capture like at least this one, it is going to take like 50 plus turns for Chaos to lose on points. He actually attacked Chaos Rising, so we might be seeing second and third city once those cultists are out. But yeah, that is going to take a while. Alright, on that note, I will step away for it. Maybe a couple of minutes. At least logically, I shouldn't miss much because there is really nothing both players should be doing against each other. The saddest part is that I am not sure we will be able to rebuild or like get Chaos Lord anytime soon. But yeah, let's see where he will place his second, and then I will step away for a bit. Yeah, looks like it will be here. And Orc can see it. But yeah, that is going to take a while now. And I'm stepping away for a bit. Alright, I really hope I have not missed anything interesting. It looks like Chaos is threatening that third city. With Havocs. Yeah, and that, like, in the future, you might wanna keep that in mind, that by placing your city like this, you force yourself into defending it instead of capturing more artifacts, effectively prolonging the game and giving your opponent more time to come back, if it is possible, of course. Alright, looks like work is finally done. Looking at those guys shooting up his city. No mechs to repair it. But yeah, now you see what you kinda wish you had, like a line of Havocs now. Yeah, that is kinda annoying. And I mean, it's not like Orc has a big army, it's just that you kinda can't afford to fight here. Again, like, if he just had more Havocs behind, it would have been so much better. Maybe we will eventually move on to range free meta with lines of Havoc standing. But yeah, those guys are forcing him to walk back because he can't afford to stand in their range. But now, sadly, that Havoc is like completely out of position. Why is he in front? No one can tell. Alright, that might actually be a dead war boss. Depends on what are we doing with other guys. Right, it does not look good. If only we had more Havocs. And by the way, I'm not sure if he could have tagged it already, but you can see how Fearless Icon can help your Havocs. Yeah, realistically, he lost like 2 units. Losing that Havoc is very annoying. So yeah, lost 3 units, 2 of them Havocs, that are quite essential. And of course it is hard to position them properly when enemy units can move 4 and then shoot, etc. Well, I think you can kill that war boss, at least. Yeah, and it looks like he realized as well. And to be honest, if that's how it goes, this might not be over yet. Yeah, Havocs. Most definitely worthwhile units. It's just sad that they're so hard to use. The war boss runs away into the city. And you can see that city actually blocks movement around those cliffs, so like you can't go like this or like this. You have to go all the way here, here, or slam your face on those 3 tiles. Very annoying place for a city. Yeah, for 40 cost, I'm not quite sure if Burner Boys are worth it, but you can see that they barely survive with Horn Berserker attack, which is kinda interesting. But yeah, again, by placing city like this, Ork is forcing himself to protect it instead of capturing more artifacts. Like at least this one he could have took with a single boy. But yeah, that in turn buys Chaos time. To get an army, I wanted to say, but he ran out of food, which is to be expected. But still sad. Right, very nice that we have witnessed that interesting fight. Once again, you can see that attacking cities is very hard in Gladius. Like, you literally need triple the army size of your opponent, and even then it might be a bit dicey. But also you kinda can't just leave the city alone. So yeah, 7 turns to get the lord out. Let's see if there are any shops around. Sadly, no shops. That is the price of 2 ruins. Actually, like, the closest shop is God knows where. Beyond Ork City. There are 2 of them, one up north. Again, quite close to each other. Just shows you once again that this is all pretty random. No real rhyme or reason here. But yeah, we will have the lord, sadly almost without items. Yeah, I kind of feel like we might as well get a second lord quarter and maybe get like another hero out as well. Who knows? But yeah, I will step away for a bit again. And hopefully won't miss anything too wild. Because I doubt Legion will be trying anything funny with his warboss now. Let's see. Maybe we can sell everything and just buy economic items, who knows. But yeah, I will step away for a bit. Hopefully Lost won't destroy a city while I'm away, and will wait those 6 turns for his Chaos Lord. There are plenty of time points wise, and Orc can't really afford to go and hunt for more points at the moment. Let's see. Well, I didn't miss a single turn, it looks like. Still 6 turns for Chaos Lord to get out. Actually, why is it 6 turns? Should be 5 or something. So at full production with 6 cogs it takes like 7 turns, and he already has like 12.9. So I guess it is like loyalty penalty kicking in, adding that extra turn. To Chaos Lord production, so effectively 8 turns. But sadly, if it takes 8 turns to produce a hero at the moment, with like hero buildings being small size, so yeah, even that building takes 5 turns to build instead of 4, but if most likely it would have been 4, because he would have some production overflow on his crane. But yeah, basically by going for a second hero building you speed up your first hero by like 2 turns, maybe even 1 if it's very tight. So it kinda feels not worth it. If you aim for 2 heroes, and again, that is with them having like 60 cost. Which is why I think it would be nice to bump Chaos Lord down to 40 cost, so he's like easier to produce early, and to like to make him less obnoxious, we could just take away 1 melee attack. And same for Warboss, take away one of his melee attacks as well, because both Power Claw and Thunder Hammer were just not supposed to have so many attacks. At least as far as I understand the way Gladius melee attacks conversion works. And you can definitely feel that via but there's something funky going on with their damage when you compare them to something else, like for example Captain. What other strong melee heroes do we have? Celestial. Celestine. Yeah, I don't think she's that strong in melee, actually. Avatar of Cain, of course, is quite strong, but he's like a monstrous creature, so that doesn't count as well. Of course, Drukari Archon is quite busted, but I'm not sure if he has like an extra attack. Most definitely his weapon trait is absolutely busted. Like, the amount of damage it gives him against monstrous creatures and other heroes is just ridiculous. And sadly, like, it appears that that's just the way his weapon works on tabletop. So I kinda wanna say that Proxy might have overdid it when they gave him that weapon. Like, immediately killing on an unsaved wound translated into just plus a lot of damage, and the guy is ridiculous. And he has a funny built-in invulnerable damage reduction that goes on cooldown. I was actually tinkering with the ability, and there is a way to make it like that 50% invulnerable damage reduction buff that goes on cooldown. There is a way to make it a bit more interesting and less obnoxious. So you can actually make it work while he's above a certain percentage of hit points. So he will have like 50% invulnerable damage reduction while he has more than 2/3 of hit points, and then like loses that damage reduction once he drops below, which makes him a much more interesting target and way less obnoxious to use and to fight against. So like, instead of being OP every 3 turns, he's like pretty sane every turn. And it also might make like life drain artifact usable, at least on him, because he will basically be incentivized to heal up his top third of hit points to keep himself survivable, because basically his first third of hit points is like secretly like actually half of his hit points, something like that. Well, it's like sounds quite convoluted, I guess, but gameplay wise it is pretty simple. Alright, we finally got a third relic for Orks. And we have mechs to repair that city, so we're not afraid of a single havoc shooting at it. We do have third city for chaos, which might be just spamming more Gene Labs as well. Again, not sure about that. Might be a book or food, something like that. Well, having flash Gitzes and Dorna boys can work well against berserkers, because you can't catch them on Overwatch. And there are no Overwatch counters at the moment in Chaos Army, and I don't think he will be bothering with going vehicles at this stage. But yeah, without access to any shops, but Lord might be a bit dry. Won't even be able to get a stun grenade to deal with War Boss. Warboss on the other hand looks like will be trying to buy something interesting. I don't know, I will be tempted to buy 2 stun grenades. He instead buys Axe of Blind Fury. So should be one tapping berserkers after that, which is annoying to say the least. And killing a squad per turn. Is not like losing a squad per turn to a hero is not something you wanna face. And it's definitely something that requires a counter. Yeah, still looks quite bad. And that war boss will be extremely annoying. Well, I guess it will be a war boss here, taking overwatches. But we will see. Like, there are a couple of burners in range to do something, etc, etc. But also will just hang back and wait. He doesn't actually need to attack. I mean, Orc, he's like winning regardless at the moment. And yeah, Orks just hides in the forest behind the city. Again, can afford to. There is literally no reason for him to go out. And for Chaos, of course, like, he still needs to maybe at least get his Lord out. Might even get him on a trader at this rate. But yeah, with an axe, this war boss one taps berserkers, which is hella annoying. No crowns this time, so this is looking quite tough. And on that note, I will step away for some time again. Although I'm kinda tempted to stay to see if I will actually get a fight going. And again, he has to wait for the Lord if he is to do it properly. And even once he gets him, he will need to go and like try to buy some items first. Right, looks like we will see a shootout at some point here. But sadly, it looks like Orc just has more stuff, so he should be winning eventually. And of course, not having an access to the shop will hurts Chaos Lord very hard, very much, very whatever. Right, at least Warboss is out of the way for now. I don't know, there's like a decent chance we will see some action. But also like that lob can't really do much. Looks kind of expensive. Yeah, doesn't deal that much damage, and you can see he takes so much damage in return. Like you see, he only has 8 armor and no invulnerable damage reductions. So I just don't understand how he can be priced at 60 when Space Marine's captain is 40 while having 10 armor and 50% invulnerable damage reduction. That's just bizarre. Alright, he gets Dark Glory level 2, but he still takes like ridiculous amounts of damage. Not compatible with survival. And yeah, that means we will be looking at this for a while. Not sure if we will take Rubric Marines at some point. Lost the squad here. Look at the Chandels. A bit funny. But yeah, again, can just hang back until this game ends. Yeah, I will step away for a couple of minutes again, and I doubt we will miss anything too intense. Alright, I have a feeling I finally missed something interesting. It looks like at least one Havoc died. The city placement is a bit unlucky. Can shoot some important tiles. But yeah, looks like Chaos Army is dwindling faster than Orc one, which is pretty common in situations like this when one side already has an advantage. That's just that much easier to keep it. At least in fight like this, like when both armies are just facing off. Orks bloated. Very happy. He did activate the core blood, it is level 2. So you most definitely do not want to touch this guy with your war boss. Then again you can just kill everything else. And there might even be enough shooty units to kill the lord. Mega Nobs are coming. By the way, we take quite some damage from Havocs as well. So yeah, Havocs are kinda strong. Gets extra infantry armor with orcs. Cute, but the chaos looks kinda sad like this. Can't quite see what is the plan here. For city chaos incoming. Maybe What is the strat now? You go one city and when instantly 4. I'm joking, of course. At the very least, it is not the way for 1v1 on our tournament settings. Yeah, I think he should just kill that model. Oh, he can't. Yeah, that is annoying. But wait, it shows that he could shoot here. So yeah, I don't quite understand what is going on. But not killing a model here means he can kill your model instead. Yeah, and you can see new ones do not kill a model because they do not have extra to accuracy from Gitfinder. Very nice Warp Frenzy proc on Havoc. Well, sadly, it doesn't feel like Chaos will be able to break this deadlock in 31 turn. Mostly because he's just not scaling into anything, it looks like. bad, sorry for that sound. Alright, found a funny joke. Right, looks like Chaos Army is finally going out. Although, yeah, there are still plenty of Orks. Always lovely to see bloated proccing on your frontline unit. Yeah, you can definitely feel how rough it is to attack cities. But again, Orc is most definitely winning here. Even if it is taking some time. Yeah, we'll be moving Meganopsin in there. And that should be a signal to end this game, I believe. Wait a second. Yeah, it is kinda scary because what if this turns into a comeback? Who knows? Yeah, that is annoying amount of damage. And it looks like LostOne was running out of time. Of course you might have wanted to attack in a different order to get a chance to proc bloat it on your Chaos Lord. But now he will, it looks like, die to ranged units. Again, mechs for 30 cost having such a strong attack might be a bit too good. Like, I'm pretty sure they used to cost 40, whoever buffed them and why, it's like beyond me. And you can even take stick bombs and they will be able to nuke chaff as well with those grenades. For 30 you can just make them as a combat unit from your mech bits yard. Custom Mega Slugger, 600 penetration, that is actually more than tank boosters. At least against infantry. Against vehicles, tank boosters do get their +2. But I think they do not get it against monsters, so... But yeah, I think that should be it. And LostOne taps out. Let's quickly check just how bad that early fight was. And yeah, it kinda started. I believe that's like when he lost his first city. Can we like detect it here? Yeah. So yeah, it started like it looked nice for like a turn, but when he just started losing units and it went downhill pretty fast. And of course, just could not rebuild. You look at this. Just wasn't able to rebuild enough army to actually contest anything, sadly. But yeah, a good lesson to everyone not to put your early second city into the middle of the map, where it can be easily attacked before you can produce units. And hopefully we will see something more interesting next time. But yeah, congratulations to Legion for winning in the first round, and see you guys tomorrow with the game of Vag against Denegar. Chaos Space Marines again, but this time against Tyranids. So that's that for today, and see you tomorrow. Have a good night, great evening, and just a good day in general.